Hello, this is Cheryl Wilson and I'm an abstract artist. I primarily paint large abstracts, but I love painting on paper. Painting on paper a lot of times is more affordable to some of my clients, so I've been doing more and more painting on paper and I really enjoy it. I am going to do a demonstration to show you today of 3 12 by 18 paintings, and they're a little bit on the moody side. And it wasn't because I was in a moody mood, it was just because that's kind of the way they started out and I kind of just went with it. I'm going to use several tools like a palette knife or roller and incorporate some handmade papers. But those that are returning, thank you for coming back. I absolutely love you and I appreciate that you support me, and black and white has been a suggestion to me. But I appreciate the suggested videos people have left me. I do have a list. Those that are new, I do abstract art, I do techniques, I do artist talks, and I hope you enjoy this video of 3 paintings. They are all quite different from each other. While they were done with the same like inspirational mood I was in, but it shows that different paintings can go different directions, and the tools have a lot to do with it. So the first painting, the 12 by 18, I call it Puccini's Secrets, and I'll show you the different tools that I use in this one. And it's a little bit different than what I normally paint, but I wanted to use a roller, and you'll see me, it's a hard roller, and it almost gave like layers of different pieces of paper that I put down in the painting. Although there are no extra pieces of paper, it's just mainly the paint and the tools that I use and some splattering. This second one, 12 by 18, I call Lasting Impact, and this was done with black and white, and then I show how I used, it's like a pan of pastels. It's a really unique idea. I'll share the product with you, but it's just several pastels that are in like these kind of like a powder compact, and they add they're absolutely beautiful when you put them on your paper. Now you'll have to finish this with a fixative, but the colors of the mixtures between the kind of the orangey browns and the blues I thought was really pretty. And then this last one I called Wordless Sadness, and it's just a very unusual rendition of a female body shape, and just I guess the sadness of her thoughts and the covering of her face so you can't see her emotions. I don't know sometimes when I'm painting why I paint what I do, and I'm sure other artists have been there. It's just something inspires you to paint a certain way or paint something, and I almost felt like some of the patches might be scars on her body. But nevertheless, this kind of gives you an idea of a very abstract way of painting a figure, and my rendition of adding something to cover her face. So without further ado, let's get into the actual paintings and you can see how I did each one. I first wanted to show you how I take a piece of deli paper and then I take carbon black, golden high flow, and I just use a very small brush with a long point on the end. It's a rigger brush, and then I just kind of like pretend write, and I'll let that dry, and then I'll rip those pieces up and put that in my paintings, and they, with like a gloss or type of a glue, and they become transparent. They meld into the painting. So I do this a lot, and I love this technique. So I thought you might enjoy seeing me do one, because you'll see me actually put it in a piece of art. All right, so here is the first painting. I call it Puccini's Secrets, and I just wanted to show you what it would look like in a mat. And they turned out very pretty. I did quite a few, but I didn't. I'm only showing 3 of them here, but I enjoyed the. I guess the way this painting, I mentioned this in the introduction, it just looks like there's different layers of mixed media based on the tools that I used and the dripping and the way I turned the paper, and I really loved it. So I thought this would be a good technique to show you. So I just start with a piece of paper, and this is a watercolor paper. You can use any kind of paper that you want, because I'm not putting watercolor on here, but I like the thickness and the feel of watercolor paper. And here I'm using Canson. So I enjoy the just the texture of the Canson paper. And so I'm going to talk about the different tools probably in a pop-up, but I'm going to go ahead and put this on a faster speed so that it's not taking forever to get through this video, but you'll see me go through and just do a very simple paint. It's a very simple technique that you can do. And of course I do start on this one, not all of them, by putting some painter's tape down. So the painter's tape is, you can put it on a board, you can get a piece of cardboard and tape it down to that. I have a lot of pieces of cardboard I use. This one I just wanted to be very simple and just keeps the edges, a nice crispy edge that's kind of fun. You don't have to. You can paint without putting your paper down, especially if you're going to mat it. Just all depends on your preference. If you like that look of peeling the tape off of a painting and seeing the painting in the end, which is kind of rewarding, then sometimes putting paint down or the tape down is a lot of fun. This is the second one. I'm calling this Lasting Impact. This is a black and white, and then I go in and add and I'll show you the little pan pastels. You just rub them in. They're really beautiful. Again, this is done on Canson paper. I like it because it's a nice, since I'm not doing watercolor, I love using this watercolor paper. It's perfect for acrylics. So it's a 12 by 18, and and I've sold a lot of this size. There's different mats you can get that fit this, but I've done well with this one. So again, I'm going to just put this on a faster speed and just let you watch me paint it. So on this one, you'll see me continue to add layers, and I am going in and adding interest by covering up some of the stains in there. But by having different layers of the translucent, like well, there I am just mixing a couple colors, but having different translucent and opaque and thinning out the paint that's water, the painting starts to look really interesting because you can look down and see through the painting to the different layers and the stains and the drippings, and it just makes it for a very interesting painting. I am further making this a little moodier painting. The end result is a very kind of like a rainy day type of look, even though the title is lasting impact. It's just in the end it's a very moody but very layered painting. A lot of times when I spray, the spray really splatters out, so you'll see me go in and wipe off some of the splatter. When you add a hair dryer or a heat tool or some tool to blow the paint, when you have it very watery, I love how it makes the tendrils of the paint just spread out on the painting. I do that a lot, and it really makes a beautiful, interesting look. So you can add golden high flow and add water, and depending on how much water you're adding will depend on how much the tendrils will roll out. So I grabbed the roller and just further added another layer of interest type to flatten out some of the paint, and it's like kind of a back and forth dance between adding more opaque and more translucent type of paint. And you'll see me go over, I have a palette over there. I'll do a demonstration video sometime of how I make my glass palette, but I'm using the trowel again to just add some interesting marks in there, which I really enjoy when I use that trowel. It adds a signature mark that I use in a lot of my paintings. So I'm flattening out again some of the paint that I've used with the roller. So now I'm at my last one. I'm calling her Wordless Sadness. And, she could be a very happy lady, just dancing around. But the whole theme of these paintings that I was doing were just kind of on the moody side. So I'm showing how I do some of my figures. There is no set in stone way that I do them. They're sometimes I do alcohol ink, sometimes I'll do other type of layers, and this one I'm using the different I'm using acrylics, and then I'm using papers that I'm adding. So I'm very roughly just drawing a figure in. I'm not being overly careful because a lot of it's going to get covered up. But the point is just to give the abstract illusion that this is a female body, and that the rest of her hair, her eyes, and everything, that will all basically be conjured up by what the person thinks of. I went ahead and put face features in, but they get covered up. I'm not the best at face features, so a lot of times I do cover my face features up because I haven't mastered them yet. But if you want to put beautiful face features in yours, you could do the same thing and then just kind of follow the same concept of what I'm doing here. But I'm just outlining the what I put down. I put down pencil, and so when you add water to it, it is going to give a little bit of a smear, and that's exactly what I intended to have, was a smear. So I'm going to put this on fast forward and just let you watch me create the wordless sadness painting here, and I hope you enjoy it. So again, a lot of the papers I'm adding are the deli papers that I have gone in and painted on. And then I'm just using the roller. I apologize for having the painting a little bit lower. I get very involved in what I'm doing, and I forget that I need to move that painting up. I have to be careful that if I have it in a certain spot, you see my head bopping over the painting. So I move the painting further up on the table, which means when I pull it down to be comfortable and where I normally paint, you can't see it as well. But I do look at the camera and find out it's too low and move her back up. But she is just, to me, she's very beautiful, very vulnerable. I love her, and she could be matted in so many different types of matte, thick or thin, even different colors to match your decor. So the words you write on there could be legible words or words that you've made up, whatever you want her to portray. She's and she's got very loose hair, so I hope you liked her seeing her painted. Just a very loose, easy figure of a woman. So I hope you've enjoyed these three paintings. They're a little bit different than what I normally do, but sometimes I go out of the box myself and try different techniques together and see what I like. And I, like painting on paper. It's kind of a relaxing. I think I mentioned in one of my last videos, I'm just at the end of getting over COVID. It's been a tiring month, so this was kind of a relaxing set of videos to do. Maybe that's why it came out, more on the dark emotional side. Although I'm fine. I'm feeling much better and my emotions are good, but being cooped up and staying away from people, maybe that came out in my art. But give this a thumbs up if you want me to keep going, if you enjoyed paper paintings, if you like black and white, if you like mood paintings. Just leave me a comment and let me know you were here. I'm still growing my channel. It's a slow growing channel, but I love you all. I have some wonderful friends I've met, and you're consistent about encouraging me, which is wonderful. So I will stop this painting here, and I hope the next one to do is to show you how I do my glass palette, which is really easy to clean, and it's something new that I found. Since I found it, it's kind of like a game changer. So I hope that's coming up next. And take care and happy painting.